Right. What is up, everyone? I am live again. Hopefully, some of you guys can come in and join me during this live session. I actually went live in the middle of the night, and you know what? I got addicted. I got re-addicted again. But now I played it back. The audio was terrible. Some people came in and it left right away. I don't blame you. The audio was terrible. I didn't know, so now I'm rocking these headsets. I don't even know what these are, but I had them. This is what I game in, man. This is when I'm playing Call of Duty, right? You can hear all the sounds. You can hear the guys sneaking up behind you. So I was like, you know what? I do got a headset with a mic, so I want to go ahead and check that out. So anyway, I'm using it now. So let me know if the audio sucks, okay? And also bear with me because we're gonna go over some charts that I like. We're gonna go kind of what I did or what I've been doing again. And I will put the link in the description of the video that I did before. It was really the first video. I'm re-recording the video. That video was unlisted, but I'll put that link in if you want to check it out. But the audio was terrible, so hopefully the audio is good on this one. So let's go over some charts, including Tesla, right? Because that's just basically what I've been doing. I've been hint Tesla and Bitcoin. So let me see if I can do this right. How about that? Yeah. I got to get used to working like this, but here we go. I don't have the comment screen up, so I'd be a little slow on the comments. But I'm gonna pretend like you guys ain't even here because that's how I make quality videos. Hopefully this is better quality. So what I've been doing, man, since the all right, start from the beginning. My last video was over a year ago. I think it was over a year ago. And I basically called the top of the market on that. And I was telling everyone, sell everything. Right? This is it, man. It can't continue. And I even did that. I took my own advice, but I did it wrong. I had no idea that everything would be hit. See, because what I did, I took all the BS out of my portfolio. I was like, man, I was thinking Amazon was silly because it never participated in that rally. I just got rid of all the video, the BS. I stuck with Amazon. I can't remember what other stock I had that just I thought that was not going to get hit, but everything got hit. Everything got crushed. So pre-split, I think I got out of Amazon at about 2,800 when it was just looking pitiful, and I just got into single stock Tesla basically. But I got into Nvidia and then I got into Tesla and I should have just ran because I'm thinking these guys got hit, man. It's gonna stabilize and go back up. Here's a cheap price. Nah, man, these things was going 60, 70. These things were getting destroyed, So I'm in Tesla and I'm in Bitcoin and that's it. I'm actually changing my trading style a little bit because I'm getting older, right? I can't afford another hit like this, man, because I did get destroyed. I got destroyed, but I'm doing well. And what I'm trying to think of the words. No, it's actually not as bad as you think because I just got into some good things, and I'm in test. I'm just not trading no more, right? That's my. Let me see. How can I put this? I'm like choking here on the microphone. I'm getting to more taking out less risk, less option trading. Although while the market is going down, as soon as the market starts to go back up, I'll get into my usual thing. Because remember, my style gets crushed. I've always been saying that crushed when the market. My style does not work on the down market. So I just went to single stocks, and that's what I'm doing. I'm selling covered calls, and I'm in Tesla and Bitcoin. That's it. That's my future. Tesla and Bitcoin. So let's talk about Tesla real quick, man. Goodness gracious. So here he is. Here's that massive support level. And when you look at this chart, you could see it, right? It's super clear. It's right there in front of you. And believe it or not, when it would hit 100, and right now it's at 160, pre-market's at 163, it's up 60% in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Let me pull up my weekly since it hit that 100. Now, I was in here somewhere around here. It dropped down. I was selling covered calls, making money off of those as it was dropping down. And then I was like, I got to get rid of these things, right? Before I don't want my shares to be taken away. And unfortunately, they did get taken away as I was getting cute and trading this. This thing is flying high, and I just could not get out of this train, right? So I made a lot of money coming back up here, but I'm chasing it. I'm chasing it because I'm trying to get rid of. I lost my shares. I'm selling uh, deep in the money puts, to try to make up for that, and it's just been a nightmare trying to get back on that Tesla train. I do not want to lose my shares. So what I am in now, I have two deep in the money calls, right? Going deep and leaps, man. Right here, I'm in the 20 before I had shares. So I'm in the 20 June 25s. 875 days away from expiration. I love when they make leaps this far out. And I'm in the 30s. This is where I'm at, right? So those are the leaps that I own. uh, right now it's saying they a delta of 100 of one. So basically, for every dollar that Tesla moves, it's like owning 100 shares of stock. So that's what I'm in. One for one with those. How do I lose? If it goes down to 30, I basically it lost, but it's the same as buying the shares, right? Because if I were to buy the shares right now, let's say right now it will cost you 16,300. If the shares were to go to 30, you have $3,000 worth of Tesla. So it's basically the same thing, and you could save a little money. I did pay a little premium on that, um, because it's Tesla. It's Tesla, but I am more of a worry-free thing. When I get extra money, I'm just going into Tesla and Bitcoin. Let's see. I'm still getting that error. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, so that's Tesla. Let's talk about what I want to talk about is my my watch list. I don't have it up on the screen, but I actually do have it up on the screen, but you can't see it. Let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go back to Tesla. I didn't finish my analyst, my analyzing. Obviously, the support is clear as day. If we were to break 100, and let's just call that support 100, it's a little off. It's probably going down 50 to another 50% loss to 60 to 50 area down here, right? And another 50% loss from 100. Oh, that would be a disaster. If that happens, a lot of things is getting wrecked. So it's still a great time to get in, even though it's up 60% off its low and not even a whole candle. As you can see, it still has a lot of room to run. So I would say any pullback you can get into Tesla because it has a lot of room to run. This is what I want to bring up. Let's talk about the market in general, the SPY, because let me see. You have to let's talk about the Qs first because this is what's getting wrecked. You can't think about macro environment, right? The macro is ugly. It's an ugly picture, and the market is going to correct. It's going to start rising before that's fixed, even though it's not going to get fixed. I mean, markets go up in an ugly environment, and they start tanking when everything is great. Just the opposite. They're going to be doing what it's going to do 6 months or so, up to a year prior than what we see now, right? So, and I think that's what might be happening. If you look at the Qs, it's right up against that resistance. It's hitting right there, right there. There it is, right? So can we go through, or does it just brings us down to another leg down and we go lower and test that support level? I don't know. We are going to find out right now. I'm looking at the Qs. They are down from this pre-market. It's 292.15. The close was 293.34. Tesla's up, but the Qs are down so far in the pre-market. I think this is critical. This is a critical area. If we can break through this, I'm all aboard on the market has hit the low. Or it won't see those lows. If we don't, I don't know. I don't know. So let's look at the SPY. It's done a little bit better than the SPX. This is my bullhorn. I I did the other video and I forgot the name of this pattern, but what is this? The bullhorn? Anyway, I was expecting this right here to come down to here. It didn't. I'm gonna call that the blow up top. What I didn't know. is that the blow off top can last a year or so. And to me, it did. I still think there's a possibility. I know this sounds crazy of us coming down here unless we break this area of resistance, which is what we're hitting right now. You can see the SPY. Let me pull this. Let me pull up the weekly. Get a better look at that. And how about I clear all this stuff out? Oh, I'm working these charts right now. In my last video, I didn't work them that good. You could kind of see where we are. This is where we need to kind of get above. I'm bringing it down a little bit. I'm going to call that right there an overshoot because I got touch, 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 right? So I'm going to say that's the level of resistance. We'll call this one an overshoot, but it's also a level on its own, right? But if we can break through there, I'm all aboard that. We have seen we won't test those lows from October. That's the October 10th. We hit a low, right? So let's just see what happens. Right now, the SPY is trading lower in the pre-market. So let's go ahead and just look at some of the stocks that I look at. Starting with, let's look at Apple, right? So here's Apple. Just checking things out. Make sure y'all see what I see. Okay, so here's Apple. I'm gonna go to the monthly. You know, when I trade, you'll know. You already know that it's way out there. I suck at close things and try to snap, uh, try to Skype. What's that word I'm looking for? Uh, I get it. You know what I'm saying. Just try to get those quick. I suck at that, man. That's why I lost my Tesla shares trying to sell calls on it, man. I sold a $10 call on Tesla when it was on a Friday, thinking it's going to expire, thinking this, oh, this is a free $10 right here. It was already up 5%. And then at the end of the day, it rips and goes up something like 8, 9%. And I lost my shares thinking I can buy them back on a Monday. All right, I'll just buy them back Monday. Monday, the stock opens up, it's ripping again. It was just a disaster to sell a $10 call when I'm in it for the long run. I want to have these shares and I don't ever want to sell them. That's the way I feel right now. And that's actually my new style. It's a little bit better than when I was trying to explain before. Now, let's look at Apple. Um, you know, it, see, this is almost like everything. It bounced off that support, right? And let's see what it does. Let's see, it's still in that downtrend right now, right? And it's getting ready to hit that critical area, just like the SPY, just like the Qs. And let's just see what happens. If it can break that sloping triangle, that sloping down trend right here, I think we might have something. I'm not saying we're off to the races, but we're gonna maybe a little bit more sideways action and boom, straight up. No, straight up, up, right? Not retesting those lows. And the Apple low was right here at the month of January. I don't know what actual date that is. I got a monthly chart up, right? So there's Apple. I never really been into Apple stock, but it's been one of the best stops of the decade. Basically I should have been in it. It's probably because I just don't like Apple products, but yeah, that's another story. But it's really just doing what it's been doing since last year. It's doing nothing special here. You know when it's going to do something special? When it breaks out here. And remember here, this was a fake breakout. It almost reached a new high midsummer. It's like, wow, what the hell? This is crazy. It went from 136 to as high as 176 in a couple of months, almost a new high in that environment that we was in. And then that was it, man. That was just the time to sell. So straight down, not straight, but down. And let's see what happens, man. It's still in the downtrend. Let's just see what happens with that. Um, we already talked about the SPX. Here's a stock that is on my watch list. These are watch list stocks. Livent Corporation. They specialize in lithium. The world needs lithium, right? Everything's going into electric cars and batteries and stuff like that. I thought this stock would do a lot better, but as you can see, it's just in a range, and it's in the middle of the range, and it has been doing nothing for a year and a half. Kind of reminds me of Amazon, but if you're into this or this area, it's actually a decent time to buy, but it's been doing nothing. We got, when this thing is going to do something is when we finally break out to all-time highs, and then maybe it's off to the races for this particular stock. I thought it would do better under the environment, but it's not. It's just it's just hanging out. It ain't losing your money, that's for sure, but it ain't making you too much money either. But what stocks are, for the most part, there's a few out there, especially if you bought it at the right times, and we're going to talk about those stocks. I'll tell you what, we talk about them right now. And one of them is Boeing, right? I had been making money in Boeing when this thing got down to $100, basically. We'll call it 118. I was all in, man. I was like, find me some Boeing. I was just trying to buy as much Boeing as I can. It was a gift. There's only two airplane makers. Airbus and Boeing. I don't care what's going on with them. They've been having troubles ever since that, what was it, the crash that they had. And a lot of things got exposed, but these guys are getting it. They're getting it together. I'm even looking at this is a little head and shoulders here, and it's getting a breakout, inverse head and shoulders. It's not the greatest picture, but here's a shoulder, head, kind of a shoulder, right? And breaking out. But I was in this and just riding it up, and I got out, right? I got out of several stocks. I was in it down here trying to get everything, and let's look at Nike. It was the same with Nike. Look at that bounce. This is incredible. I can't believe they was selling that Nike at 80. I was totally in down there when they came out with earnings and it went down to 80. I was trying to sell the house. I was trying to find anything, right, to get into Nike. I was like, there's no way. What are you, crazy? Nike, you're gonna give me a August 18th price on Nike at $80? Like people are gonna stop buying Nike? No, it's not gonna happen. So they was just throwing out the babies with the bathwater, and sure enough, that was the bottom. I got in at the right time, and I sold somewhere up here just not too long ago. But the stock is just V bottom. Look at that, man. It's incredible. Incredible. What did I do with those proceeds? Got into Tesla. Like I just like, you know what? It's gonna be Tesla and it's gonna be Bitcoin. Period. I'm not changing my mind. I just think those 10 years from now, I think those companies are gonna be at the top. So I'm just concentrating my portfolio looking towards that. And I'm glad I got into those options. I would rather have the shares, but I'm in deep, 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 deep in the money options, and they're doing the same exact thing, right? As owning the shares. So there goes and I can also sell covered calls against those as well, but I'm not. I ain't playing that game no more. There's Nike, here's Disney, here's another stock that I was not bouncing like like we seen Nike, but damn, they was selling Disney at 89. I can't even pay. So I can't even afford to go to their parks anymore, and they still packing these things out. They was valuating Disney at 200 when everything was closed, everything, and all they had was a streaming platform. Well, now it's $80, right? It is trading at 109. It went down to 80, man. Let me see. 80, what's that low? $84. I was all in, man. I got out somewhere around 100, so I played that bounce as well, thinking I was going to be in the long term. But like I said, I just came up with a new strategy. I was like, what do I want to be in 10 years from now? And I just think those are the two companies. Disney is going to make you money, though. It's not going nowhere. At this price, wow, man. They're giving you a price clear back here to 2014. It's insane, man. Disney, and I talked about Boeing and Starbucks. I don't think I talked about Starbucks on the last video. They did the same thing, man. Look at that bounce. It's just like a Nike bounce. It's trading at 105. They gave this, it was in the seven. You gave me $68 on Starbucks. They give me the 2015. Look, I don't care. China closed, and they're gonna open again. People's gonna be drinking their coffee. This was another one that was the babies out with the bathwater. Sure enough, I was in that too, and I rode that up to about, got out way premature, but around there, that same area, and it's still going higher. I don't necessarily like it right now as we approach an all-time highs, but I do like it for the long term. But Starbucks, they threw the baby out with the bathwater with this one. This is a great franchise to be in, man. Those are my favorite, favorite, favorite stocks. I will always buy, well, not now, but I would always buy them. And of course, Amazon. Did we talk about Amazon? Look at the bounces. It's Ving, right? It's not doing like Boeing. It's not doing like Nike, but it's starting to. But if you look at the theme of these stocks, minus the macro picture of what you know is going on, it does look like a bottom could be in place. It's definitely going to try, so maybe you can get into Amazon and ride this thing back up to all-time highs, which would be great. When you can get Amazon at 90, 90, $99. This is actually up in the pre-market, okay? So down there from the low, imagine if we would hit all-time highs, that would be a 125% increase from that all-time low. So if you get in today, let's say you got in right now and you can kind of reach those highs, you're almost looking at 100%, 86% to be exact. Look at the stochastic. By the way, that's something let's go back to Tesla real quick. Let's look at the stochastic here because I see I got it highlighted, right? The last time it was like that was here, and that was the beginning of the bull run. So I think you're getting a huge deal with Tesla. I think the market is figuring it out, trading up $2 now from the pre-market, and it's still early. It's still early because look at, I say we get to at least here, right? That 250. Oh no, that's one level. I think more of the 200 is the level to where it starts thinking about what it wants to do, like so I think we go to 200 easy before we start going sideways. Um, depending on what the market does, it could sink, but I think that's a buying opportunity to at least 200, and then I think it makes a more. If it breaks that, man, it's off to the the races. Look, you got the pickup truck is coming out this year. Later this year, in the end of the year, they're gonna really be pushing out those semi trucks. I think that robot, man, that robot I actually think that's pretty interesting. But they got that Giga Nevada, whatever has happened. These guys are really putting the pedal down, and a lot of things is going to happen this year. These guys make money selling EVs. The other companies barely make any money. That's the Ford and the GMs. They had a head start. So like I said in the last video, think of Apple, right? Apple went all the way to iPhone 3 before a real competitor came out, which was like the Samsung Galaxy. Before that, it was like the BlackBerry Storm. It's garbage. And I feel like even though these cars look well, Tesla is is just it. They got that head start, and that's what's making them the margins. They're making the batteries, they're doing all of that stuff, right? The network of chargers. The other companies got to still get their full self-serve, full FSD, full self, whatever the hell that stands for, driving. Full self driving, is that what it stands for? They're doing all of that stuff and charging a fortune for it, and people are buying it. So the other company's got a long way to go. If you want to compare Tesla to a Ford, which I do like Ford, but if you look at where it's at, it's not gonna be making you. It's not gonna get you rich. It'll hold on to your money, but it's just hanging in there. It almost looks like it wants to break down. Like this is the bull bear flag, right? And then maybe we get something like that. But it's hanging on. I don't I don't think it will do that, but that's what the chart is almost kind of saying. It's just as you see the V's and some of the other stocks, you're not really seeing that wanting to break out here. You're just not seeing it yet. So let me see what Ford went. I just can't see it getting lower. I'm thinking, damn, Ford's gonna break what 11? These lows? 10? I don't know. Just not exciting. But, I think the future is Tesla. Future, and I still like Google. I like um, Tesla, Google, Amazon. Those are the future. I try to think like, let's go 50 years out. Who's making innovation? And I've got to say, it's the Google, it's going to be the Tesla, it's going to be Amazon, it's going to be Apple. These are the innovative companies that's going to actually take us to the future. And really, those are the only things I want to be messing with now. That's my theme. Oh, and Bitcoin, man. Did I even talk about it? Did I talk about Bitcoin? Let's bring it up. I think I did. I'm not sure if I talked about it or not. Let me see. Look at that chart. The thing about Bitcoin, man, it it's so look at all right. Let's look at. I'm kind of lost for words here. You can see that support, right? And you can see how when it came down, we had the Celsius collapse and all of that, three arrows, all right here. And then we had FTX. And I actually think that the FTX explosion was the low. Look at that candle right there. Look at that monthly candle. If it can hold on to another 3 days, what Tuesday I think ends the month. This is a total outside month candle that encompasses several months, right? Try to draw this line here. Maybe if I clear all those out. Hold on a minute. Let's start from scratch, right? This month, right? So let's say it was the end of the month. This thing is encompassing several months. I'm just looking at this is the Bitcoin futures, by the way. It's kind of anyway. See it last month, the month before, the month before, the month before. This is a huge candle about that's trying to form, and you can almost see Bitcoin hitting 30,000 in the near future. Um, the volatility has collapsed, right? The market, the Nasdaq, the SPY happened to be more volatile than Bitcoin was, and that's when I was like, wow, man, I need to get more into Bitcoin. So everything I think of right now is just Tesla and Bitcoin, Tesla and Bitcoin, and the volatility is just collapse. Now you're having a volatility expansion. I'm gonna pull up the, let me see the weekly. Look at that. Let's pull up the daily, it'll even be better. And just look at the stochastic, right? You can see that volatility squeeze. And then now the expansion, always a blow up. It could go up or down. And look at it, it's just doing what it was supposed to do because it was so quiet in here while the market was just collapsing. It was just collapsing. And now, it's starting to explode. I like Bitcoin for the the long run, and I just totally believe in it. It's doing its thing. It's the future of money, the way to transport money in the future without losing it. It's hell. It's hope, as Michael Saylor would say, and a lot of Bitcoiners. It's hope, man, and I love it. Once it gets up to 100,000, I feel that whole get rich quick thing is going to go away. You could be buying Bitcoin at 16,000 right now, and right now it's at 23,000. Once it gets up to like the 100,000 area or all-time highs, it's not going to be that really get rich quick kind of thing because you're just not going to have $100,000 to be buying a whole Bitcoin. Not that you need to buy a whole Bitcoin, you could buy fractional pieces, but you would have realized at that point you missed the bottom and you're probably going to wait and just, hang out. Or what happens when you start seeing $10,000 candles? Can you can you imagine that when it's starting to just really get that momentum and start to go higher? Not that it's going to do it tomorrow, but I actually think one day we'll see that. You would already, when you see that, you missed it. You missed it. You could have had it at 16,000. So you'll see those kind of candles. Bitcoin might be trading at 500,000, for one Bitcoin. And when you put in 10,000, you're going to get like 0.008 of a big, Bitcoin would be crazy. You're gonna be like, man, you ain't even making no dent, no damage. Anyway, I'm just talking BS right now, but I do like Bitcoin. Let's pull up the monthly. I really think that this candle is the move to start to the upside. We have the Bitcoin halving that's gonna start. I think it's April next year. It usually moves maybe 6 to 8 months before that from the past halvings. So I think it's setting up to reach for the run, right? And I think that's what this candle is almost talking about. We saw that volatility squeeze. People stopped selling Bitcoin during that whole collapse. 60% of all Bitcoin hasn't even moved. It's just acting up from these collapses and FTX and all these hedge funds and people trying to get rich and and leverage. These guys are just playing with it, but the true holders, they're holding tight, man, and they picking up coins, right? So it's coming off the exchanges. So when these uh people, people, let's just call it people, really institutions start diving in, say, hey, I got to get some big. The exchanges don't even have it to sell. Wait until you see what the prices of Bitcoin is going to do then. So I don't even know where they're going to get their Bitcoin. I'm not selling it. A 60%, I think those people, they would have sold it already. They ain't selling it. So where are they going to get their Bitcoin from? Exchanges don't have it because the price. So what's going to make people have weak hands? The price is just going to skyrocket. That's what I think is going to happen to Bitcoin. But I'm excited about it, and yeah, I think it's the future. So it's the it's like the best technology ever. Think internet. I mean, coming out of college, you're learning Web 3. Everything is about blockchain. And this is where it's at. This is the future. Shout out to oh my gosh, I forgot my solid hardcore followers names, but you know who you are. You talk about Bitcoin on all my videos, man. Shout out to you. I'm totally orange pilled. All right, so there's Bitcoin. Serenity Truck. Yo, what's up, Schmitty Trucker? Yeah, hell yeah. Microsoft, let's talk about it. Thoughts on Bill Gates from loading up on. I don't know nothing about the Bill Gates Foundation loading up on Microsoft, but sure, I'll talk about it real quick. Yeah, yeah, I decided to. I had some time. I got a lot of things going on, man, and I had some time today, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video, and yeah, decide to make one. I don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe I can keep it up. Microsoft. You know, I just pulled up the. I don't. It's got some nice bottom and tail candles, but looking at some of the other stocks, it's just not bouncing the way you would like it to. Like I wouldn't say the way I like it, it's the way you see in some other stocks. So it's not actually when I pull up the chart, I'm not getting real excited about it. But look, we know Microsoft is that core holding that all portfolios want, need. It's you can't say ever to me, don't buy Microsoft, right? So I like it. The stochastic, look it. Let me this. I can't even go back any further. Let me see. Right, way back here. What year is that? Sorry, 2007, 2008, when the market was crashing, is the last time the stochastics has been down there. So this is a great time to buy, but I don't think that this just takes off. You know what I'm saying? Into like if you're trying to get any alpha, on your trades, but it's definitely that core holding you can bag and start holding. And I'm just looking at charts. I don't know anything about Bill Gates buying. That's a great candle for the bottom. You want to see that at bottoms. You want to see these kind of candles form, these hammer type candles. But it's still got some work to do. It's got to break that level of resistance right there, right? Just like the SPY, just like the Nasdaq, it's not quite pushing up against there yet. But just keep an eye on it. It still has some more work to do before we could say it's a bottom. Right now, it's really just in a range. Let me get rid of this circle. Drawing. Go like that, right? Go like that. Oh, I got the wrong thing on, right? Go like that. So it came down, and now it's in this range. It's a low. Let's see if it can break out of there. Then I'll be more of a believer like, wow, Microsoft. The stochastic is slowly coming out from the oversold area. It's not really giving you that point up direction, but it's still a great stock to own. But just not looking at it, it's not like, oh my God, Microsoft. I'll compare it to Tesla, and you could see it yourself, kind of. You could see that like maybe possible V bottom that's going to bring you back into the middle of the range, right? Or even Boeing, right? Boeing, you can see how it broke out. That's kind of what I want to see. Let's look at Facebook. Come on, draw. Oh, that's right, it's Meta. Duh. You can see that's giving you that little. Even Facebook, the stochastic is not really coming out of there, but that's that oversold. Look at that, draw that line. It broke out the downtrend, and maybe it's gonna do something here, right? So now I'm gonna go back to Microsoft and see. It's just like, eh. But yeah, man. But it's also that stock you can go to sleep at night. You know, that's why I like that and Apple. I mean, you can go to sleep at night with these stocks. It's not, you look at Apple now that I pulled up all, you just don't see the move yet, you know? So I think you got time with those stocks. Why? I don't know. But the stocks are just showing me, just, mm. And if we were to go down, if we were to take a leg down, these stocks are going to get hit, I feel, because it's just not, with the excitement that we had in the last month or so with the market. Let me pull up the Qs real quick, right? Look at that candle on the Qs. It just didn't reflect in really Apple and in Microsoft. So where is it going? I don't know. You don't. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Microsoft got that hammer. But I don't know. I'm just looking at the monthly. I'm just not really getting excited looking at it. I'll just keep it at that. I haven't been following the market as much as I used to. I'm listening. I listen to CNBC all the time. Uh, but I'm just been on focus on just how do I buy more Bitcoin and how do I buy more Tesla. And really, that's it. That's really been my total focus. And I won't go back to my trading style until I really feel that we are at the bottom. But even then, I got a question. I don't know. I want to be a more shares kind of guy. Um, I really like, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on how much alpha I want to give my portfolio. Because my strategy it works, but it doesn't work in a down market. So I definitely got to make sure the market is going up, before I risk that. And it's because I'm just getting older. I'm getting older, man. I gotta, this money needs to be there, when I retire, for sure. And it sucks that you gain a lot of money and let me go. Let me see if I could do this. You gain a lot of money. This is what I notice about the market, which sucks. Like say from early 90s to 2000, then from 2000 to 2008, right? So the early 90s to 2010 years, from 2000 to 2008, 8 years, from 2009-ish to, well, actually more 2002 to 2008, right? That's when the market started going up again. So from 2009-ish to 22, 10 years, well, we was way overdue. What what pisses me off about just the way the market works, even though we can expect it these days, you you're taught to dollar cost average, right? Keep buying shares. And stocks go down, you get more shares, right? The stocks goes up, you get less shares, but you're in it. And up until 2001, what is that? When was that? Yeah, two. What is this? 23, 20. Up until 2000, the beginning of 2001, it worked. If you didn't sell anything, you was making the most money. You had a big bag, right? If you didn't sell anything. But the market during those time frames, it takes it back. It takes back 8 years, 10 years, 15 years in 6 months. Like if you go on a long vacation, boom, just take all those gains like that, right? But we're taught to dollar cost averages to keep dollar cost average. But suppose you during 2000, 2008, and I knew somebody at the 2008 crash where they was retiring and they was making their plans, and then the next thing you know, the money's gone, right? From that, it was just ridiculous, and I don't know what that guy did, but hopefully he's doing all right. Hopefully I'm sure his money was in because every day he would ask me, "What's the Dow doing?" I'd be like, "Oh man, it's down 1,000," and he's just like, and they don't have time for the rebound. Even though we rebounded, he didn't have time for that rebound, right? So, and that's the same thing we're in now. A lot of the seniors and stuff, they don't have time for it to bounce. They don't have time to wait for Tesla or Microsoft or Apple. They gotta get into bonds. Well, at least bonds is paying something now, but is it? Because inflation is like 6 point whatever percent, so they're not. Even though bonds are paying something relative to what it used to be, relative to inflation, it's a losing trade. So it's just there's just nowhere to put your money. Like, so last year was, that 60-40 portfolio was 60% stocks and 40% bonds. Didn't work. Bonds got destroyed, stocks got destroyed, Bitcoin got destroyed. This is something that I never seen before. It just, if it was an asset, it just got destroyed. Real estate is holding on, but that's going to get destroyed too, I feel. And that's what makes me think about the last leg. And do we hit the bottom? So let's go ahead and pull up. Now that we're talking about the bottom, let's pull up the VIX real quick. Let's see if I hope Shmi. I'm going. I have to go back and forth to the comment screen. I don't have it in front of me. Investing sports better, Mr. JRH here. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I was trying to give you a shout out because you are the reason I'm making this video today. I saw your video, man. Good video. I was like, you know what, Mr. I think I'm gonna come in and make a video. I'm just gonna make a video. I have time. I actually had time too. So I was like, I'm gonna make a video. JRH got back in there, and I'm gonna make a video. So if you're not following Investing Sports Better, give him a follow. I tried to holler at you. Uh, it was a while ago. It was a while ago, and I had this bet on about the a baseball game or something, and then they was paying me out. They was giving you that, hey, cash out now, and I was like, what do I do? Because it was this parlay that I was gonna win, and I was like, should I hold on or should I cash out? And I'll ask you for your advice. I don't think you got back to me. I don't think you answered at all. I think I tweeted at you, and I was like, I need to know what to do because I don't really sports. When I do sports bet, I bet on the favorite. I bet on the home team. You got to be home and you got to be the favorite and you got to be paying a shitty team. And that's what I base my parlays on. Home, great versus shitty. And then and I'll bet on those, and usually that combination lets me win, but I'm not great at it, but I usually win with that, believe it or not. Shmiz Trucker says dollar cost averaging seems to make the most sense. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so because those stocks are also not as volatile as growth stocks, But here's what I like about growth stocks and dollar cost averaging. Let me pull up my switch screens here. Um, there we go. Is that the growth stocks are always going to be growth stocks. The market always wants growth stocks. They're just not in favor right now. And when they are in favor, look out. Look out above, okay? And this is, but so when your dollar cost averaging, especially in markets like this, we can scoop up that regardless of what the charts look like. We know Microsoft is going to do good. We know Amazon is going to do good. We know Tesla. Well, maybe some people don't know. That's why I actually like that. We know Nvidia is going to be there, and those chip companies, Taiwan, they're going to be. Well, Taiwan's. I don't know if China invades. There's some macro things going on with Taiwan, but they're gonna be there. This is the greatest time to scoop them up. Let these institutions dump them because they're trying to make a profit for the year. We could scoop them up and be long-term holders, right? So that's what I like about these kind of markets, So this is the time to be scooping up these shares and just holding them. They're dumping them. I showed you some examples with the Nike and the Boeing and the Starbucks and the I can't think of that other one. Disney. They'll dump them, right? And it's our time to buy them. So let's scoop them up. Man, I wish I could. Man, I just wish I had money coming in like that so I could keep buying these because I sure would buy. I was buying, but I'm mostly, like I said, in Tesla. I'm trying out something new. I just want to, load. I want to I want to stick to what I think is going to be right and concentrate my efforts into that. I'm either gonna go boom or gonna go bust. I get it. I know you need to be diversified, but that's what I like. Damn it, that's what I'm sticking to. So but yeah, if I had the room, I would be doing some Amazon and blah blah. If I sell covered call, if I cover call on my Tesla positions, I'll use those profits to get into some of those stocks. But so we'll see. We'll see how it works. But let me go back to what you guys were saying. Go, yes, I'm just going with my gut. You know, you used to trade Amazon all the time. You was on point with your Tesla trades, JRH. And I know, I never comment because I'm always watching videos on the go. But you would buy at the end of the day and or sell at the end of and you was getting that next day right. And I suck at that. I just suck at any short-term trades. Period. Everything I do is look as long-term. I try to look at, but he was actually nailing it for a while. I don't know how those worked out, but I was like, wow, you feeling it? Like look at Tesla. I said if you wasn't in the video that I lost my shares selling covered call. The thing is up 60% in what 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's up five, it's up seven, it's up three, it's up eight, it's up and it's just like if you sell in front of that, and then this thing is one of the Asian speed trains. If you step in front of that train, you're gonna get wrecked. And it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable that usually you have a move like that, you could maybe sell that call or buy a put and it goes down and you can make a quick trade, but the thing is just so just look out. um where are we? Let me go back to my charts here. All right, I want to talk about the VIX, and let's talk about let me just pull up Tesla real quick. Yeah, it's still got some work to do, but I do like the bounce back. But if it breaks 100, it's going to 50. It is. It's going to 60, 50. So we'll see what happens. It might just come up here. It just could be a check, just like here, right? See that? Check, down, check, down. We'll see what happens. Um, the VIX. This is what has me concerned about the market. I talked about it in my last video. The market got crushed in 2022, and we, in my opinion, there was really no capitulation day. You telling me one of the worst sell-offs in history, and the highest we did when the VIX was a 35? We didn't see that like 19 here. We didn't see that 85 or 50. I want to go back. You're looking away at to 2003. Right here, 2008. We didn't see that 90. We not seeing any of these spikes. And here we are getting wrecked over here, and we couldn't even hit a 40 VIX. That bothers me. All of these spikes for the most part, especially that one and that one, market bottoms. You almost knew. I mean, people was throwing out everything. Everyone was scared. You thinking the world is ending, and we didn't get anything close to it. So that's what bothers me. Even here in uh, February 18, here 15. Just that bothers me. I don't get that at all, right? So keep an eye on that. If you zoom in right here, we at that point of look. We at that point to where the VIX is going to spike. This is actually probably a great time to sell because it's been a great time here, 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 here. But if it breaks below, maybe that will be the breakout of the Qs and the SPY. Maybe that is. Maybe we're not going to see that spike. Maybe we're not going to see that spike because everybody's expecting that spike. And the market, that's what the market loves to do, right? It loves to just give you the unexpected. So I don't know, but it does bother me. But the VIX is at that point to where it turns. It's been doing that for the last year, yeah, about a year. So we could have an ugly, like today's Friday, we could have an ugly Monday. Maybe some news comes out. Maybe um, Russia talks about pushing a button. or something like that, because a lot of things are happening over there. The macro picture is definitely it's not good. It's a lot of things still happening, but we know stocks they decouple from that. It'll start to turn before that happens, and it'll start to go down before bad happens, and start to go up before good happens. Here's the 10-year, the yield. I remember when it was down here. See my arrow? I was like, man, this is going down. It's why it's always been going down. And look, we finally got that breakout of the yield. And did it continue? Is it, I don't know. It just almost seems like a bull flag here. And then if that happens, tech is still going to be, there's more wrecking to do and with the market. But we'll see what happens with that. Right, zoom in, see if I can draw a better picture, clear all of this out. Right, so up, down, up, right? Another check here, and then what's next? So let's see. Let's if that continues to go that way, there's some more wrecking ball stuff to contend with. Let's see what happens. But yeah, finally changed trend. There's the trend line, right? And this is going back. That's from 2007. I can't go back any further. Let's see if I draw this one. Yeah, I don't like that one. I'm just playing around with lines. Yeah, if you do that, let me see if I clear all this drawing set. I'm trying to find a good way to chart this. Right? So if I do that and do that, I could say, you know what? It's at the top of the range, and then maybe we do come, clear back into the mid-range somewhere. So that's a way to look at it. Yeah, see, I found a way to plot that for the bulls. Oh man. Let me see. Yeah, the VTI and the VXUS. You basically in every stock by getting the VTI and getting the VXUS and Bitcoin. You're in every. You're just bullish to me. Well, you're not necessarily saying you're bullish, but you're stacking for that time to become bullish, if you know what I mean. You're getting your chips now, so when it goes up, you're getting in low, buying low, right? And you're in everything. So, but the VTI being the S&P 500 for the most part, and the VX US is the total stock market. You had pulled it up and it said 4,000. I always thought that was a $5,000 because I'm thinking the Wilshire 5,000, right? And I thought that's what the VX US imitated, but I guess it's 4,000. I don't know. I thought it was almost just like the Wilshire 5,000. And then in Bitcoin, I really like Bitcoin out of everything I talked about today. I like Bitcoin. Okay, so just make that clear. All right, let's look at some of the other stocks on my list, man. Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, the market open since I've been talking. See, everything is down. Qs are down, just a little bit. See, the Dow is down 6. Here's the Dow. Wow. If you look, the Dow Industrials, it's amazing. It's almost unbelievable because most of us are probably not in Dow stocks, but it's not that far from an all-time high. If you was in the Dow stocks, your portfolio's doing pretty good, especially if you was dollar cost averaging on the way down, right? So it's unbelievable that it's right there. But yeah, the Dow's is actually up now. It's up 6. So let's see if we close up this Friday on a high note. I mean, if this is a flag a little bit, shoot, we might be at the all-time high. We're only 7% away from Dow reaching all-time high. Can you believe that in this market? That is crazy. Center my soul. Where I need to go. this way. All right, let's go back to when I was looking at. Oh, I missed some stocks on my first video. One of my favorite stocks. Wait, I lost my screen here. Monthly? What the hell is this? I don't remember this video. Sorry, I'm just all over the place. Yeah, the weekly. Okay. It's Top Golf, Callaway Brands. This place is awesome. I just love this company, and I love Top Golf. And they just take all your money. It's so good that they changed the name to Top Golf from Callaway. It used to be Eli. I think that's the founder of the company, Eli Callaway. Yeah, Eli Callaway was his name, and it was ELI was his ticker. They changed it to Top Golf Callaway Brands, right? So, you got the Callaway brand to kind of bring you into Top Golf. They're building Top Golfs all over the country. There's a imitation Top Golf out there. They even trade the stock is even out there. It doesn't do as well as Top Golf for whatever reason. I didn't go to that one, but I just really like what goes on here. It's hard to even get a time slot when you play Top Golf. Still, right? People still want to blow money there, and they're good at taking all your money. So I like those companies. But I like this stock. I don't know why. It's not the greatest, but I like it. So it's on my watch list. All right, so pull up, and you can see that pattern, by the way. Let me go back to it. It's at from the time it changed its name. That's all I can go. I can't go to Eli, but it's at an all-time high from the time it changed its name. So I think the high is actually 32, $35 or 38 in the recent years. Um, let's talk about Shake Shack, and I like Shake Shack as well. Shake Shack is starting to break out from the lows here, right? So it's a stock. I was heavy in some Steak Shack shake can't even say it. Some Shake Shack options, but I think this is actually probably a good time to get in. It's showing something. It came down. It's consolidating. It kind of remind me of Bitcoin a little bit. And maybe that's the bottom, and we start to go higher, right? So bottom here. This was the COVID low, and then you're just a little bit above the low there. If you're into it, there you go. Shake Shack. I was so bullish up here. Little I know I needed to be buying puts and not selling calls. I remember I had like the 80 calls. I had call spreads on the 80, 120 or something like that. When it got up here, I repositioned some of those calls, and then it was going down, down, down. I think here when it reached that support area, I bought more, did some another repositioning, and then going down, down. I think I just got out and down, 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 down. I would love to actually get in here. I just like this company as well. I gotta look at the financials. I haven't looked at those in a long time. Uh, one of the things that reason why Shake Shack was dropping like that is because a lot of their locations are in the bigger cities. So they had, the COVID, it was shutting everything down, right? So the business sucked. And then I think they started to branch out into more suburban areas, if I remember, and have faster drive-throughs or something like that to try to change. But now that everything is opening back up, I think this can have this room to run. Look at down, down, down. Notice it didn't V like here, it didn't V here. It's a little sideways action. Then you got that big candle, and it's not quite Ving. But let's see, it's at that critical point, just like the SPY, just like certain stocks we looked at. And if it breaks out, I'll be a believer. So actually, it's one of my stocks that's on my list. Um, Now that the market is open, my list is changing. The order is changing. We talked about that. Micro strategy. You if you believe in Bitcoin and you want to make a killing, and I thought about this strategy. The options are expensive, but if you buy options and there's some long-term options, wow, they got the December 25s. 1,000 days away. You could buy this 250 for $6,300. And if Bitcoin does this thing, you're a believer in Bitcoin, this stock is gonna fly. It's so still heavily shorted, and they got a whole bunch. This is a Bitcoin company. It's nothing to do with the advanced software, the corporate software, whatever they do. It's a Bitcoin company, and they tried to bring it down. I think it hit as low as 100. I thought about loading up, and I missed the boat. It happened so fast, I missed it. There was so many things I wanted to get in, but yeah, it was just down here. 128 at the beginning of the year, January. Now it's 240. It's already up 140% since the low. So if Bitcoin does its thing, this thing is going to fly. And that $6,000 option won't be nothing. It's like getting it for free, So I like that. I still look at this. I'm like, wow, this is it'll challenge those all-time highs, but Bitcoin needs to start running. So that's MicroStrategy. Nike. It's a good way to get into Bitcoin with options for the most part. Nike, we talked about Nike, Nvidia. Look at the candle on Nvidia. Look at that. This thing is about to explode. I can't believe I'm talking about this on what's going on out there. But that candle is a beautiful candle. Only thing is at the top of resistance. It's right there. You know, it needs to break out. It might go sideways. If it breaks out, then it's like we are true believe. This is strong resistance, man. Look at the candles here, right here. Did that? No, there's no tail there. Take that back. But you got that candle here. Then you got here, right? All of this area here, over here, right? This is a strong resistance area is coming through. And if it goes through that, the stock definitely wants to go higher. Um, I was in Nvidia. I got crushed right here. I got into Nvidia. By the way, one of the reasons I got into Tesla because when the market was tanking, Tesla was holding up. It was holding up, and that's when I was like, wow. It was showing me. I'm like, wow, this thing. Why is this not tanking? Anyway, it finally caught up and started tanking with the rest of them. But I think when things are becoming uh, reverse, right? When things are looking good again, I don't think if they ever looking good, but that leadership that it had, I think it will return. So here we are. Yes, it's right there. Um, I like it. I just not in it. I liked it lower, but it's showing. Some of these stocks are giving you a glimpse at what's going to happen when we reach the promised land. When maybe Fed pals ease and let's go to the gas a little bit. It they kind of giving you that glimpse of who wants to lead, right? And I think Nvidia is going to be one of them. Since we're talking about, I don't think AMD is on my watch list, but let me bring up AMD. You can look at the difference, right? You don't see that in AMD. You just see, it's almost damn near still at its recent low. Not saying that it's not going to pop from here, but you're not seeing that same. No, the institutions, let's call, because they're the ones that really move stocks. They're not really trying to dive into AMD for whatever reason, because it would be you would see it in the price, right? So it's just like okay, I don't know if AMD is going to be that leader like it was in the last chip cycles, So, and that's the glimpse that I'm talking about. So you could say, okay, yeah, yeah, let's do NVIDIA for the next run. Keep an eye on it because when they start selling off again, that's going to be the one I think you want to get into. Not AMD. It's just not really showing you. It's just not showing in the stock price yet. It's barely breaking out. Here we go. See, not even, right? That downtrend is still intact and it's pushing up against it. To tell you the truth, it's actually a good time to sell unless it breaks out. So yeah, I think it's just going up because the market's been getting a little love lately. Well, we see what happens. There's uh, AMD. A quick look at NVIDIA again, and you see the difference. They was kind of throwing this baby out with the chart. You don't even got to be a chartist to look at that. Remove all. Let's remove everything. All these drawings. Right? You don't even got to be a chartist to see what's going on there. Um, let's look at Open Door. I think I love this stock. I love what they do, but they can't make money. Okay, they're buying houses to basically sell them, but the market's kind of coming. Basically, everything they would buy, unless they get in these houses cheaper. Basically, let's say you want to sell your house and you go through Open Door, it's worth 100. Unless they like, man, we give you 80, and people are like, okay, I'll take 80, But it was working when the market was going up. These guys got a lot of debt in a lot of houses that they gotta offload. I did a little research on that. They gotta offload most likely at lower prices. I just don't know what's gonna happen to them. If you believe in a company, it's a great time. I was gonna scoop up a whole bunch of these at when it reached under $1, but I was like, man, these guys are gonna go bankrupt, right? So it's risky. It's risky here, but this is the time to where if you truly believe in a company and do your research, I mean, you could scoop these up and damn near probably become a millionaire. Scoop these up at $1, and if you're right and it recovers and starts being uh, the thing it was supposed to be, um, that next gen real estate, you would be shit, you'd be make out like a bandit. Open Door. Let's look at Zillow real quick. Yeah, Zillow was churning. It's churning as well. Look at that. So maybe the real estate market won't tank like Summer's predicting, but it is going down. But maybe because this turnaround, I noticed the long-term interest rates have. Yeah, look at that. So there's your breakout, right? Zillow. You don't got to be a chartist to see that. But open door is risky. You definitely got to do your research on that. But if you're right, you make a killing on that. Like let's say, I remember Zillow tried to do what Open Door does, and they got returns over here, and it's like, we're not gonna do that no more, right? And they just sold. So suppose that the turn happens, and then instead of them saying trying to imitate it, maybe they just buy Open Door. You never know. But they'll be buying a lot of debt too. All right, so let's talk about Peloton, which all right, guys, I was wrong about Peloton. I thought they was the next Apple. The Apple of fitness, not the next Apple. The Apple of fitness. I think I don't know. They don't know what to do. New CEOs, bikes, you rent them now. They lost company. Very expensive. Um, where you had the program to run with the monthly plan and on top of the bike, and I think they got a lot of debt as well. Yeah, I think they'll be around forever. Definitely. But it's just the stock they're gonna probably go. I don't know. I didn't look at the financials in a long time, but you could see what the market's doing and they're just not participating. It's almost like it only stopped going down because the market kind of slowed its roll a little bit. It's a sideways action. So I don't really see nothing here. But this is also one of those stocks, if you believe in it and you kind of do your homework, you could get rich off of it. You could buy it low to buy it down here. This reminds me of the days when you was able to buy Ford in 2008. You was able to buy Ford at $1, under $1. And look, it just recently went up to, was it 30, right? So you 30x on Ford, believe it or not. So that's crazy. Um, these could be the same kind of companies if you do your research. Because everybody back then, everybody thought Ford was going to go bankrupt, and it didn't. It was the only auto basically that didn't go. Um, not the only what? Because GM didn't GM and what's the other one? Ford, GM. I don't know if like Toyota or Nissan. I don't know. But anyway, they didn't go bankrupt, and they managed. And just before all that, it was $5, and then they went down to $1. It was almost like a guarantee these guys was gonna go bankrupt, and they did. And you could have been scooping up them shares at $1. Um, so let's talk about PayPal. I think I heard that they was. Yeah, I don't like it. If you're a believer in PayPal, see, it's just hanging out, right? It's just you look at that, is it going to break it's just ready to break the low. It just looks like it doesn't. It came down and it stopped. No one's trying to buy it. It's just like, okay, we're here. Then soon as a big seller, it just looks like it wants to break. But it's definitely for sure that it's doing nothing, right? It's there's no one's interested in PayPal, but you could be that person, just like we talked about. you, this is one of them stocks that you could scoop up if you really see the vision that none of us see. That's going to change the direction and get in sooner. But yeah, just flatline. I think I might even take them off my watch list. PayPal. We talked about the Qs. Did we talk about Starbucks? Hey, look at that. Starbucks is at almost at an all-time high. I know I talked about it. I'm not sure if I talked about it. I'm not liking it as much up here, but I like it as a long-term hold. If it can get any kind of pullback, I was in it down here. It was a gift, and I rode it up and got out. But I wish I would have stayed in. This is what you want to see. This is one of those stocks to where, when I was telling you, you could tell what people want to own for the most part. Starbucks is one of them, right? So when things start to reopen in China, especially, I think China already has. I think that's part of the run up here. This is going to be one of them stocks that everyone wants to own. It got halted back here. I forgot what the reasonings were before the COVID, and now it looks like it wants to definitely challenge those highs, and who knows, maybe I guess go higher, right? So I like Starbucks. That's one of my remember it's Starbucks, Nike, Disney, Amazon, I guess, and Tesla. Those are what I like, and Callaway Golf. Oh man. Uh, and we talked. I think that's it. I think I hit everything. DraftKings. I didn't talk about that in a long time. I really thought that this was gonna do something. And so this was something else. I made so much money from here to here, and I wind up giving a lot back because I believed in it so much, and I was wrong. And as you can see, it's doing nothing, nothing. Even that sports football is at its all time the high. Basketball, what they just sold, what's that team that just got bought, the Boston Celtics or something. These It's sports is damn near at an all-time high in viewership and betting, and they're not participating. You would have thought it was back here, but it's you don't see it in the stock. So it just makes me go, okay, what's gonna make it go up? There's a lot of places you can bet as well, but so I just don't see it. I don't see what any kind of yeah, I just don't like the space. Now I use DraftKings when I do bet. I use DraftKings. I like it. It's all right, but I don't see it. The stock is. I'd rather take what I'm gonna put in the stock and put it in DraftKings and make a bet. That's it. It looks like that's it with my tickers. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. Booking Holdings. Another look at the travel. I I was in and out of this stock. I can't believe they're almost at all. These guys got a long way to run. I wish I could. Why can't I get a better chart going? I wish it didn't run so hard here. It's actually, 2000. It broke that level of resistance, and there it is. Boom. I was in and out and in and out in this. It's very expensive. I like the options. They're very expensive. These options soar when this price is moving, but they're very wide, very illiquid. But if you can get, I like booking. They're basically the Expedia of the world. Expedia is more um, US, and then booking is international. But look at that, Expedia is looking good. So you see what's happening with booking, right? So Expedia's got this little catch-up trade here, maybe. Look at that candle. That's great. Buying it at the lows. So Expedia is probably a good one to get into. I don't know why they dumped it here. Well, that was the beginning. Yeah, they dumped it. Wow. I don't even think Expedia booking got dumped like that. Yeah, not as fast. So I like booking for the long term and Expedia for the bounce. And that's it. That's my ticker. But I told you I'm in Bitcoin and in DraftKings. DraftKings. I'm in booking and in not booking. All right, I'm in Bitcoin and in Tesla, and I'm gonna ride that wave for a while. And maybe I'll try to make videos to see what you guys are trading and talk about a couple of different stocks, whatever. But my trading style, I like it. I might go back to it, but I definitely have to wait until I know that we are on that next bull cycle to really be messing with selling options or buying options like that because they can get wrecked. Um, Speaking of sports, who's your favorite? My Super Bowl pick, I think San Francisco is still in it, right? I think it's San Francisco. It's going to be a good Super Bowl if it's San Francisco and Cincinnati, right? Those are the teams that are still in it, right? Don't they play this weekend for the Super Bowls? It this Sunday to see who wins? But I like those two. I like. I think they're both going to win, and I think that's going to be a good Super Bowl. And I think San Francisco is going to win it. That's my guess. Hopefully, I got that right. As far as as far as who's in it, I haven't been following it that tough. I'm a Jets fan, right? Now you already know. You already know why I'm just not following football like that no more because these guys were 7-3 and lost every single game after that, and then got a last chance effort to to make the playoffs and still lost. Oh man, it's just the Jets will find a way to crush you every single year. It's so hard to be a Jet fan. So yeah, I'm just like when they don't play, I kind of slow down with watching what's going on in football and stuff like that. But any other questions? Hey, thanks for coming in, Schmitty Trucker, JRH. I wish you the best on your channel, JRH. Uh, San Francisco, Philly. Yeah, I think San Francisco is gonna win. Um, yeah, in Kansas. Yeah, I think Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's definitely gonna win, and I think San Francisco. That's gonna be a tougher game for them. Is gonna beat Philly, and I'm gonna go San Francisco is gonna win the Super Bowl. I think Philly's gonna disappoint, and I don't know who the favorites are, but I'm guessing it's Philadelphia. But I think San Francisco's gonna win and win the whole thing. Those are my guesses. See if I'm right. I should place a bet. By the way, I had the Jets, right? I didn't place the bet. This is what I normally do with my team, especially my team sucks, right? So they was only, I think, supposed to win 4 games this year. You get on the website early, the thing, and you bet. I bet them to win because I did this in the last time the Jets was in the championship game. I think it was with Indianapolis or whatever. Can't remember who. Mark Sanchez was the quarterback. They wasn't supposed to win hardly anything, but I bet like $5 for them to get to the playoffs and then to win the championship game and then to win the Super Bowl. And they got all the way to the championship game. So when it came to that game, no, I didn't bet for them to win the playoffs that to get to the playoffs. That's the championship game. I was all of a sudden looking at like 1,000, like 1,500 if they win this game, and then if they go on to win the Super Bowl, another 3,000 or something. I was like, whoa, my God, they gotta win. So it was a good feeling. So this year I was gonna do the same thing. I just didn't place the bet. The odds, it was crazy. It was like 800 to one or something like that for them to go to the Super to win the Super Bowl, and and get to the playoffs, and all you need is like $5, you know. So um, I was like, I gotta put these bets on. I just didn't do it. The next thing you know, the Jets is winning, winning, winning. I never went back to check what the odds are, but I was like, I knew they couldn't have been good, but I was like, man, why didn't I place that bet? These guys are definitely going to the playoffs. That's when they was 7-3. But as you see, I would have lost all the money because they didn't. But I like looking into that. I think those are you, especially a long shot team. Like you could have picked Jacksonville to to do that. I can't think of who was kind of snuck in the playoffs like that. But anyway, you could pick a team like that and just pick them early to win the Super Bowl or get to the playoffs or win the championship game, and you can win a lot of money on a little bit of dollars. Philly is favored by 2.5 at home. That's not good for them. Yeah, you see, I think so. You're basically saying that they only favored 2.5, and it's probably only because they are home. That means if they was playing in San Francisco, Philly probably wouldn't be favored at all. You're an Eagles fan, so okay. I wish you luck with the. You know what? I don't want. I'm not a. I'm a Jet fan, but I guess if I had to be a fan, I guess it would be Philadelphia. And I live in Louisville area, so they love Cincinnati. I went to a Cincinnati Jets game even. They always play in Cincinnati here, and I don't really have a. I don't really. I don't like Kansas City, so I'm rooting for Cincinnati. I just think they give Mahomes too much credit. I don't know. I think he's overhyped. Um, you're probably like, oh, he's crazy, he's great, but I don't know. I just think he's overhyped. So anyway, I like Cincinnati for that game. I think yes, Kansas City's gonna disappoint again. I don't know who's favored in that game either. I'm gonna say Cincinnati's favorite. Who's favorite? And if you answer, I'm getting ready to go. But who's favorite right now with four teams left to win the Super Bowl? You know, waiting for an answer. I don't know if you're driving or not, but it'll be interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna I don't even know if I'll even watch the Super Bowl or I haven't been. The playoffs is a bad time for me because my team ain't playing. I'm really diehard Jets, and it sucks when my team is out. But they've been out forever, and now I think they're the longest team that hasn't made the playoffs, the longest drought. Yeah, that my video's way lagging, not showing that. Haven't looked recently. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know who the overall winner. Yeah, I figured you are. Be careful now. um, yeah, I don't know who the overall who they think it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to look that up. Let me see if I can Google that real quick. I type who is favorite. It said to win the World Cup. Can't be the Bills. Current Super Bowl odds favored the Eagles at plus 240, the Bengals at plus 275, the Chiefs at plus 260, and the 49ers at plus 330. Does that mean the 49ers are the least popular? I'd be getting those, I'd be messing up those pluses. I know you would make more money, I guess, if you bet on them. So I'm guessing they the least favorite. So I'm going actually against the grain there. Eagles. I'm gonna say the Eagles and the Bengals. Yeah, the Eagles are favorite. It's close between the Eagles and the Bengals. They basically saying the Eagles and the Bengals are gonna be in the Super Bowl. So, and that's from bonus.com. Never heard of them. Anyway, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video lives. I liked my other video better, so give me a couple minutes and I'll post the link to that video because I took it down. I'll post the link to that video in the description. But the audio is terrible. So I don't even know if you could listen to it. And I imagine with this the audio is a little better. But I'll try to make these videos. I'm gonna try to make videos. I'm just gonna try. Um, I'm gonna talk less about options and more about stock charts, though. Um, and that's only because I don't have the option plays on. All right, so if I did, I could be like, "Oh man, this is what you do," but I can't get back to my plays until I know the market is in a bull market. So and we won't know that for probably another year, another 6 months to a year or so. Anyway, but I am in those deep, deep in the money, and Tesla leaps and and some Bitcoin. Yeah, that's my portfolio, and I've been doing well for the last I don't know, several months, and I continue to think I am going to do well. I think I'm going to beat the market, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate it. You said I think the lower number has the better odds. Yeah, we need you, investor sports betting, so we could know what's better. Yeah, I think the less numbers, the better odds, because if you put $1 on plus 240, I think you win 240. If you put $1 on plus 330, you win $3.30. So since you win more, they got to be the less favorite, and I believe that's how it kind of works. So but that's where my money would go, I guess. I might need to get on there and bet $5 if that's the case, because I could win 5, 10, 15, $5. Something, maybe 10. Would 10 be 330? See, I get confused with that. I get confused with that. Anyway, I think it's 3.3 times your money. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate it. Hopefully, I get some new people to come in, check. Maybe my next video will just talk about why the hell I left YouTube. I didn't even talk about that. And it's really a quick answer. But I'll talk about that maybe in my next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all. Yeah, okay. So I got it right. JRH. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so they basically saying that the Philadelphia is going to win the Super Bowl. So there you go, Schmitty. Your team is going to win. Oh man, your team is going to win. All right. That's when they surprise you though. Where is the Super Bowl real quick? I might have to Google that before y'all can answer. Oh, in Arizona? State Farm Stadium in Arizona? Okay. Be nice. Don't jinx. I didn't jinx it. The market makers did. I didn't jinx it at all. Oh man, but I think I still would put my money on San Francisco only because I think they're gonna win, and I think you make more money. You'll make more money on the bet. But yeah, good for you, man. If they win, it's a good team. It's a good team. I got a friend of mine. I haven't speak to him in a while. He's a diehard Philly fan. And to have a Philly fan out here, then he's definitely a diehard Philly fan because there's no Philly fans out here. All they talk about is U of L, U of K, University of Kentucky, University. They don't even talk pro sports here. And of course, we have to watch the Cincinnati Bengals, which is in another state. They don't talk about any pro football team or anything. Yeah, Arizona. Yeah, I looked it up. So it's gonna be I guess it's hot out. Is it hot out there? Alexa, what's the temperature in Phoenix, Arizona? Hell no, it's 35 degrees out there right now, so it might be a chilly Super Bowl. Anyway, so all right, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out of here, man. But make sure, well, y'all hit the like button because you know I'm here. But if you're new, hit the like, subscribe. Jerry, she said, yeah, what did they say? You said, what did they say? What is that? Oh yeah, hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Anyway, yeah, so hit the like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you guys later.